You want to pause it.
So, hi Kendra, how is it coming in today?
Oh, it was good. Traffic was terrible.
Yeah? Well, I'm glad you made it in.
Me too.
Awesome. Okay, so before we get into the session, I just wanted to let you know that I will be taking case notes again today. And I just want to get the confirmation that that's okay with you. At the end of our session, if you want to look over the case notes, you're more than welcome to anything that I write, but that's something that we can explore after the session's over, okay?
Okay.
Comfortable with that?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So this is our second session. Our first session was more so talked about documents and confidentiality. I told you last week that I would give you a week to think over the confidentiality that we discussed last week. Do you feel comfortable signing the paper today, or do you want to go over it a little bit?
Can we go over it a little bit more?
Absolutely. Okay. Okay. So this is the confidentiality. And so basically it just says that anything that we talk about today is completely confidential. I won't tell anybody. However, there are some limitations to that, like we discussed last week. So that would be if you were telling me that there's child abuse in the home, if there's elderly abuse in the home, and if I feel like you're a danger to yourself or another person, and if I'm ordered by the court to hand over the information. Do you understand that, or do you have any questions?
Yeah, no, I understand.
Okay?
Yeah.
Well, if at any point you want to come back to this, we totally can. And we could talk about that a little bit more. Okay? So just start it. Okay, thank you. Okay, awesome. So, is there anything today that you really want to get off your chest? I know we have a few things that we talked about last week that you want to discuss, but is there anything else that is pressing?
Well, my family doesn't accept.
So yeah, any priorities that you want to talk about today?
Yeah. So I mentioned last week that I came out to my family about being gay, and my parents didn't take it so well.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you want to talk to me a little bit more about that?
Yeah.
So what was the reaction?
Well, my parents are very religious and don't believe that, that's a thing that should be done.
Yeah.
You know.
They just don't accept it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
I can imagine that'd be really hard to deal with, and it was probably really hard for you to come to the decision to let them know that you were gay if you knew that, they were religious beforehand. So I just want to say, I'm proud of you for making that decision, and that bravery is definitely admirable. And I'm sorry that the reaction didn't go out the way that maybe you had hoped. How are you dealing with that?
Well, it's really hard, right? They haven't really spoken to me, and it feels like they're just whispering amongst themselves now. And my dad has completely shut down, and my mom, she just kind of follows my dad. So I don't know what to do about that.
Are they calling you any names, or
I haven't heard anything, but I hear them whispering all the time.
For sure.
So I mean, whether they say it to my face or they say it behind my back, I mean, it still feels just as shitty.
And I have to ask, when you told them, did they respond aggressively at all? Was there any, physical harm or anything like that?
There wasn't. No, there wasn't anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is there anyone that you can talk to about coming out?
Well, I'm here because I feel like you listen to me. Like you do not only listen, but like you give great advice too. So, I mean, when I'm around other people, like I feel like I can't be myself either because it just came out to my parents, and I mean, look how that ended up.
Absolutely.
So that's hard. And I mean, after that, I just want to deal with one thing at a time.
Yeah. So from what I'm hearing, there isn't anybody else that you've told about this. No. I can imagine you're feeling pretty lonely right now.
Well, yeah. I mean, I want to get it out there because it's like carrying around this burden, but I don't feel it's a burden.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like carrying a bunch of weight. It's tough.
Because people don't always look at this like it's a positive thing. So um, it's not a burden, but it's something scary to um, say out loud because you don't know people's reactions, right?
Well, that's it. As much as it was like a release to let go, I am dealing with the repercussions of how they're dealing with it now. So it's just like each time there's a hurdle to continuously have to jump over.
For sure.
And the less people I tell about it, the less jumps I have to go through, but the more weight I carry. So I don't, what's the greater of two evils at this point?
Yeah, I get that. I'm sorry. So you have no friends at school, or is there any supports?
Well, I mean, I have friends at school. Like, I do talk with a lot of people, but, like, I haven't spoken to them about this issue. Um, I've spoken to my principal, and she's really supportive towards me with everything like that.
Okay, so can you tell me a little bit more about your principal? What's their name?
Her name is Margaret.
Okay.
And I don't know, I guess she kind of noticed that, like, my mood had changed, and she had confronted me about it one afternoon. And we went into her office to talk, and yeah, I spoke with her about it.
Yeah, and she listened pretty openly.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you have that person in your life.
It's nice.
Have you told her about coming out?
Yeah, I have, and more recently about like telling my parents too. And she's very understanding about it.
That's awesome.
It makes all the difference.
That's great.
Yeah.
So, I hear that you don't have that many friends at school that you feel you could tell.
Yeah.
Are you interested in making maybe some new friends? Is that something that you're interested in?
Yes. Yeah, of course. Just I don't know how I would do that.
For sure. Well, the agency that we have here, we have, this building here, but then just down a few streets from here, we have our youth center. Have you heard of it?
Yeah, briefly, but I don't know very much.
Yeah. So basically, it's called Nexus Youth Center, and we do have an LGBT group that runs there. It's a very safe space. Everyone there is very educated on the terms of the community. Um, we are very welcoming, lots of people. The age group is 16 to 24, so it fits in perfectly with you. Um, Maybe there's some people there, especially in the LGBT group, that are experiencing maybe some of the similar issues that you are. And at any point, if you go, you feel like your parents are talking about you and, you just need to get out of the house, you can go there any day of the week. They're open until 9 p.m. weekdays and 5 on weekends. And, you can go be yourself, learn new things. There's other groups. There's mindfulness. There's a girl group. Um, there's a club on Tuesdays where you can learn new hobbies if you're interested in it. Is that something that you would be interested in?
Yeah, yeah, I think I definitely would go. I don't know if I would want to go alone.
For sure. Well, if you're interested, we can schedule something where I can go with you at first and introduce you to some of the workers there, and then I'm sure the workers there can help you meet some of the kids.
That would be wonderful, yeah. I mean, I feel like I'm doing everything alone. And it's tough.
Yeah, of course. So, so speaking of alone, um, what other kind of emotions are you feeling right now?
Well, I mean, like, I don't know, kind of want to crawl under a rock, to be honest.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, sure, not everybody's going to take it well,
Hmm.
right?
Are you able to like maybe name some of those emotions? You said alone, so maybe lonely. What else? Maybe scared.
Scared.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, because, I mean, it is scary. Like, you don't know if the person you're telling is either going to hate you because of it and you lose that person. It's
Hmm.
like literally watching or having someone die out of your life.
Yeah.
It's hard.
I can
Um,
imagine.
it's definitely a toss up for first place between lonely and scared.
So how are you coping with these?
I'm honestly, I just kind of okay. Well, what had happened was last weekend, like I told my parents, and then it didn't go well. Anyways, my friends, uh, one of them ended up knowing about the party that we ended up going to. So, about four of us that went.
Okay.
And to be completely honest, like we started taking some drugs. So, I mean, they had some ecstasy, so I tried some of that.
Do you
I
feel like, sorry, do you feel like taking that helped you like cope with the situation a little bit?
definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, as much as my friends don't know about it, not a matter of what they know. And then seeing how much fun it was while you're in the moment, we then started to take more, and then more.
Yeah.
So I mean, like it made everything go away for that time period. So I got to escape my entire shitty life.
So this was last week, and you said it was your first time. How do you feel about it now? I know that you know, in the moment it felt great, but afterwards, did you feel any regret about taking drugs or any maybe interest in doing them again?
I think until maybe more people know or I come out to more people, definitely going to do it again. I mean, to say I'm not going to is just to be lying.
Of course. And so when you're in those situations, you said you had your four friends there. Was there any other point of the night where you were by yourself or you felt scared or maybe you had like a bad high or anything like that?
Yeah, there was. There was actually a time where we had taken another pill, and it was, I don't know what happened. Maybe it was just, I don't know. But everyone in the room was gone, and I ended up in the bathtub
Yeah.
for some reason. Anyways, it started to come down, and my one friend got me out of there. So,
Well, it sounds like it was a scary, rough night, scary first time for sure.
yeah, it definitely was.
There's definitely a lot of pros and cons to taking, you know, drugs. I say pros in quotations because it might be good in the moment, but it's only a temporary fix. With that being said, Kendra, I'm not here to judge you. If, like, first of all, thank you for opening up to me about that. I can't imagine that's something easy to tell someone. Um, but with that being said, you said that you might be taking drugs again in the future, and that's okay. You know, if it's not the best coping mechanism, and I would hope that we can maybe brainstorm together some better strategies together. But if you're going to engage in, taking drugs, my priority, and I hope it's your priority too, is your safety. So maybe we could also explore that if you feel like you are going to do it again or a situation arises, that we could create some sort of safety plan. So if at any point your friends steer off or you have a bad high or whatever it is, you have a number that you can call, you have a safe place that you can go to. I think that it's really important to set these things up, especially before going out to, a party or something like that.
Yeah.
That's just something to
Yeah.
think about. We don't always think about these things.
It's definitely something to think about.
Yeah.
I mean, now reflecting back on it, probably wasn't the best decision.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely wasn't.
So let's talk about some things that maybe we could do instead of using to cope with this. Do you have any hobbies or anything that you enjoy doing?
I do like drawing, and I do like painting and stuff like that too.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So at Nexus, they do actually have an art therapy group, which is really awesome. I've actually been to it and facilitated a few groups, and it's great. They have all sorts of tools there that you can express yourself, whether it be paint, pastels, oil, watercolor, whatever it may be. Is that something that you're interested in?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like that's how I'm able
Mm-hmm.
to talk about what I physically can't talk about. So all my artworks might come off as a little dark, but realistically, that's how I feel, and I get to do that with my artwork.
For sure.
And they have that there.
Yep. So do you think that you can see yourself maybe, like let's say you're in the house and you're walking by and your parents don't necessarily agree with something that you're wearing or something that you've done, whatever it is, and they start whispering. Um, in that moment, could you see yourself, grabbing your sketch pad, grabbing your tools, and painting or coloring or something like that to deal with that?
It's actually happened quite a bit, especially in the past week,
Yeah.
because like if I go to the kitchen, grab something to eat, and I hear them either talking in the living room or something like that, and it's about me, and they think maybe I'm not out of my room,
Mm-hmm.
then I hear them obviously. I just go back to my room and I open up my notepad, and that's it. Like
Yeah.
I'm gone. I'm gone. And you said this place, it has like a place for me to do art and everything, right?
100%, and tons of youth that are just as interested in it as well.
That's awesome.
So, pardon me. So I think that's a good opportunity for you to make new friends as well.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah, especially like because they're like me too, right?
Exactly. Exactly. I'm glad you said that because there are a lot of people like you, Kendra. Being gay is nothing to be ashamed of. There's tons of people out there, whether they've come out or whether they've not come out. It's a normal thing. It's nothing to be ashamed of. And, unfortunately, it does happen where their parents or their friends or whatever the situation may be, they don't accept them. So I want you to know that you're not alone in this, and you can get through it. And I'm here for you. I can help you as much as I can and with whatever you need, to the best of my abilities, and I can hook you up with people in the community around you that can help you too. Because I know that it would be really awesome to have your parents as a support right now, but if you can't have them, we we'd obviously have to work to accept that, but you can set up other supports in their place.
That's that's awesome. Like I honestly like I don't even I wish they could just understand. I don't even know how to start to make them understand.
Yeah.
And that's what's tough.
And unfortunately, the sad reality is that that might be something that you have to accept. you may never understand why they don't accept you being gay, but that's something that you're going to have to accept, and that's going to be a very difficult journey, and it's not easy. And talking to me and meeting new people and expressing yourself through art will probably help you in that acceptance process, but that might be a reality for you. How does that make you feel hearing that?
Lonely. I mean, you were there from the beginning, right?
Yeah.
And as much as everybody's there and you say, like, I have the support, you know, I feel like maybe you guys are there from like 9 to 5 or from 9 to 9,
Yeah. It
but I
seems
still have to
really
go home.
exactly. It seems like it sounds like you feel like it's really unfair, your situation.
Yeah. And for all the situations like me too. It's pretty much like getting kicked out without being kicked out.
And I can imagine that feeling really painful for you.
Yeah. It's like an emotional abandonment.
Yeah, it is. So, Kendra, sometimes when people are feeling, lonely and abandoned and, stressed out and all these different kinds of emotions, it can stir up a whirl of feelings. And sometimes suicide comes to mind. Is that something that you've been thinking about?
If I said I never thought about it, that'd be a lie. If I ever thought of acting on it, no.
Okay.
I mean, I think everyone at some point thinks about, well, maybe if I wasn't here, like, would things be different?
For sure.
Or if I was somewhere else, things would be different. But I love me too much.
Good. That's awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that with me. I'm really glad that you're not thinking about doing that action. If you are at any point, I really encourage you to talk to me about it, or to what did you say your principal's name was?
Margaret.
Margaret. I'm sure she would be there for you in the best way possible, and I definitely will be as well. Those are like really tough feelings to go through, and nobody wants to go through those alone.
It's,
But it's really good that you're able to say that you love you. That shows a lot of strength in you, a lot of resilience, that even through this crappy time, you still have a little bit of positivity and hope restored within you. And I think that's so wonderful and so admirable of you.
thank you. Yeah. Yeah.
So earlier, this is kind of a weird transition, but earlier you were talking about how um, you feel like people can't see you or they can't come in and they don't see the real you. And we've talked a lot about making new friends in art therapy, talking to people at school, going to the youth center. So I want to see if we can do an activity where maybe we could break down some of the things that people don't see. Is that something that you're interested in?
Sure. People aren't going to see it though, right?
Of course not.
Okay.
So this kind of goes back to our confidentiality that we signed at the beginning, just to reassure you again that, and you can ask as many questions and as many times you need to. It's totally understandable. But again, I just want to reassure you that anything we do, anything we say, any activity, anything at all, stays between you and I only,
Okay.
unless the circumstances which I named earlier.
Okay.
Okay. So with that being said, what I'm going to get you to do is this activity is called face. I know it's a weird name, but it is what it is. So basically, the front of the face, there's a silhouette here in the front, and there's also a silhouette in the back. And on the front, I want you to write down anything that comes to mind. You can write it in point form, you can write it however you want. what people see when they look at you. So it might be happy, it might be black, it might be ugly, it's whatever you think um, people see when they look at you. Then on the back, I want you to write down things that people don't see when they look at you. The things that you keep inside, and maybe the things that you wish you could show people. Okay?
Okay.
So with that being said, just take as much time as you need.
Okay.
Okay, so do you want to read to me what you have on the front of your face for what you think people see when they look at you?
Well, on the front, I have always happy, because I always put on this facade,
Okay.
regardless, because I don't feel that I should be bringing other people down or burdening people with my own own
Thoughts,
feelings.
yeah.
Yeah, regardless. Um, I have creative because I love my art. But
Good.
I'm so excited that program has. Like, I'm so excited. On the front, I have gay because I'm gay, and maybe I come off as gay, but maybe people know, maybe people don't know. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, it's all your perspective. So what else did you write down?
There's one more, it kind of goes with the first one, like always happy because I'm always smiling. I mean, I feel like I really get to let out what I'm thinking when I'm one on one with you or I'm one on one with Margaret. Um, and it's just like another weight's been lifted, or just taking it off for 10, 15 minutes before I put it back on, before I walk out the door, right?
That's definitely like a really good way to put it.
Yeah, it's what it feels like though, right?
Yeah.
So it's it's tough sometimes.
So do you want to flip over to the back? So these are a few things that people don't know, and things that people don't see. So when you're ready, just read that to me.
Well, I have angry first because I mean it's it angers me that I can't be myself. It angers me that people can't see me the way I want to be seen.
Yeah.
And it's because of their reactions that I can't be me.
Yeah.
I mean, it shouldn't affect me, and everyone says all the time, it doesn't matter what other people think, but it does. It does matter what other people think.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, I that's why I'm not out. That's why so many other people aren't out. And it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. I mean, I also have down here scared because it goes hand in hand with angry.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm angry because I'm scared to come out, and I don't.
It
I
just
don't know what
seems
to
like
do.
it's like a cluster.
It is. I mean, it's gangry sad. It's, ugh. If I could put it all into one,
Yeah.
it's my next one I have here. I have sad because I am sad, and I notice that when I talk with you or I talk with Margaret. This isn't stuff that I talk about to other people. Like, it's not something I can go and talk about to my parents. I mean, they're dealing with my news about me being gay and how it affects them, right?
Yeah.
So, just feels so selfish. Ugh.
Yeah. And I can imagine that's having no say in everything and like you can't change anything. It is a sad feeling. And I want you to know as well that the situation that you're going through, it sucks, and it's okay to be sad, it's okay to feel these emotions. Like, we don't want to sit in them, And I hope that we can find together ways that we can, like, lessen these negative emotions and deal with them and cope with them. But it's okay to feel sad. It's okay to feel while you're going through this because it's not easy.
It's nice to hear that
Yeah.
because you don't talk to yourself like that. You don't talk to yourself like it's okay to be sad or it's okay to be angry.
Exactly. It's like our mind is trained that, when we feel angry, it's like I got to get out of this emotion because I don't like it. And that's normal. Nobody wants to be angry, nobody wants to be sad, but that's necessary, I don't know if you ever heard the saying that you don't experience true happiness until you feel sadness or angry, and that's the truth.
And it makes so much sense, right?
Yeah.
Ugh. All I can do is shake my head most of the time.
Yeah.
'Cause I
After
don't
a while,
know.
it becomes a little numbing, and you just start to feel no emotion towards it.
And I think maybe that's why my attitude has changed. Maybe that's why Margaret has like asked me to like what's wrong. Because like it's no I can't hide it anymore. Like I don't know how to hide it or suppress it any more than I can.
Of course.
And what happens? Like, am I gonna explode? Am I gonna implode?
Yeah.
I don't know how people have been dealing with this for so many years. People that are older than me.
Hey, is that the last thing that you have on your list?
Actually, I put gay on the front and the back because as much as people might see me as gay, or maybe they don't, but I don't know what they see. I mean, unless I come out and tell them, will they actually know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's something that it's huge. It's like carrying around this huge secret that you don't want to tell anyone, but you want to scream to everyone.
Yeah.
And there's so conflicting feelings. There's such conflicting feelings.
Yeah, and then it's like conflicting coming out and telling those people, because it's like, if I do, does that mean that that's the only thing that they're gonna see on my head? Like, do I have a huge sticker on my head that says I'm gay? So it is very conflicting. It's frustrating, and I can see why you would put that there and feel very uneasy about it.
Yeah, I mean, like, all of it is so tough to, like, it's one thing to think, it's one thing to feel. But when you start talking about it out loud, it's like it becomes a reality.
Absolutely. Yeah. But unfortunately, like, if you don't talk about it out loud, then it'll just get worse and worse and worse. And that's why I'm so glad that you are here today. And I hope that, coming to counseling restores a little bit of hope that things will get better. Because now that we're talking about it, there's no way to there's no other way to go up than there's no other way to go than up from here.
That's comforting. Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Of course. So that's it for the exercise?
That's all I got.
Awesome. So how did you feel filling this out? Did you find it was hard for you to come up with some words?
Honestly, it was like being stripped naked. It's like that vulnerable feeling.
Yeah.
It's bearing everything down and like right after it's done you want to tear up the piece of paper or rush and get clothes back on.
Of
You
course.
know?
Yeah.
It's that kind of feeling.
Do you feel any sort of relief from it?
After talking with you about it, yeah.
Yeah, maybe like after reflecting about it, but like initially doing it, it felt very like uneasy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it also feels like it gives me that kind of strength knowing that I have other people in my corner that maybe if everybody doesn't accept me, at least I have the few that do.
Mm-hmm.
Which like is the complete mind change, which has just happened in this time we've been talking. Which is it's an amazing feeling.
That's awesome. Well, I mean, it looks like it's about our time to end the session,
Okay.
but I'm really glad that we're leaving on a positive note.
Me too.
Yeah, I feel like I've learned a lot about you through today's session. You've opened up a lot, which is great. We've explored a lot, like a number of many things. You're
Yeah.
probably feeling a little bit overwhelmed right now because we've talked about so much. So I'm just going to ask you, as we're leaving, on a scale of 1 to 10, how are you feeling right now? 10 being, I'm good, I'm really good, I'm ready, and 1 being, I need some help. I think we should extend the session a little bit.
I don't know if I need help as much as I feel like we built a friendship, like, and I like that. And like I said, like, I don't have many friends that understand where I'm coming from. I mean, I would love if we could have another session for sure.
Of course.
I mean, I feel so much better leaving. So I mean, on a scale number, I'd say an 8.
That's
Leaving.
awesome.
Yeah, of course.
That's really, how did you feel on a scale of 1 to 10 when you were coming in, do you think?
Oh, I was like rock bottom, like -1.
Good.
-1.
Good. I'm so glad that you could leave here feeling much better. And we definitely can schedule something for next week.
That'd be great.
And catch up. And we can also schedule something to go to the youth center together and get you connected with some of, the art, the friends. There's also counselors on spot there, so if at any point you feel like you need to talk to someone about a pressing issue and I'm not there, they're there for you. I feel like that is definitely a step in the right direction. And, get you some deserving supports.
I'm so excited.
Okay.
I'm so excited. Thank you so much.
Okay. It was nice seeing you today, Kendra.
You too. Thanks.